The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Good morning, everyone. You're watching the Charlotte Black Live Show, Morning Coffee, and I'm Charlotte Black, your host. How are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good myself. I cannot complain. I was getting ready this morning and I said, what am I going to talk about in my intro? And I kept going over it. Then all of a sudden, like, I had all of this dialogue pouring in. And I was like, wait, I need that for the show. Anyway, I do want to send a shout out to all the June birthdays. Happy birthday to all the folks born in June. And hope you guys have a good birthday. And of course, I think I gave a shout out to the Tauruses or all the people born in May last month. But if I didn't, let me do that one more time. Let's see. Also, this is a big month for graduations. So I definitely want to send a congratulations and lots of love out to my nephew, Ahmad Shah. He's graduating, and I'm so very proud of him. So I just want to send him love and light and just, from your auntie. Let's see, what else do I have going on here? So for next month, right? Next month is a big month. We have Independence Day, 4th of July. I think that's like in the middle of the week. I think it is. I think it's like Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. One of them. So anyway, to my, high school family, my hometown family, I will be coming home. So I'm like, woo, woo. Let's get this party started right. Like back in the day. Just kidding. I do want to meet with everybody and have a good time, but you guys know that I wasn't doing a whole lot of partying in back in the day, especially, after high school. Definitely not before high school, because y'all know my mother, she was not having it. In fact, I think I was the only one, like when there was something going on in the neighborhood, and you know how you got those girlfriends call, you be like, girl, just sneak out. I'm going to come and get you. I'm going to come scoop you up. Nobody called me to do that. They already knew. My mother was no nonsense. And it's not that she was mean, right? She just didn't tolerate foolishness from teenagers. She just didn't. It just wasn't something we did. So I didn't have that issue growing up. But as I became an adult, right, she got real cool. I mean, like, surprisingly cool. Because I remember, I can't even remember who it was, but one of my classmates, older, was coming over to the house. They were visiting, they were coming by. And they were like, they said something. I was like, well, just come over to the house and have a drink. And they were like, well, your mom must be gone. I'm like, no, she'll be there. They was like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And then of course by the end, of the evening, they were like, oh man, your mom is mad cool. I didn't know she was like that. And I'm like, yeah. So, I mean, parenting doesn't come with a handbook. Our parents do what they need to do to get us where we need to be. And once they feel like we good, they relax. I guess that's how it works. I think that's how I was with my kids. But anyway, that's what's happening for the 4th. So, if any of you guys going to be home or planning to travel home being Arizona, you know where to find me at the Linda's Friday. I'm just saying, that's what we need to be. So we can party like, them high school dances. Okay, so today we have a really good show. And I'm not going to do a really long intro because I really want to make sure that we have ample amount of time to cover our topic, because you know how I could get y'all. We get up here and we get to talking and chatting and, we having a good time, and before we know it, we like, dang. Right, that part. So, okay. I do want to read kind of an intro. So when I was trying to come up with this topic, I was doing a little research. I really like for the topics to kind of come to me organically, right? I don't want to go searching for them, really. I like to just, where I'm just kind of sitting around and then something hits me. It's like, oh, that's a perfect topic. So this particular topic today came to me when I was listening to the Monica song. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard it. Committed. When I tell you that song is fire, that song is fire. That's 100 right there. I love that song. I think I played it for like 30 times straight, just looping it. I probably know every single word, but I'm just saying it's a really deep song. And it was one line in there that just kept ringing in my head. And that was loving when it's hard to. She's asking in the song, can you love me when it's hard to? Despite all my issues and all my drama and all my little demons, can you love me when it's hard to? And I thought that was a really good topic. And so I decided to go with that. And I have a beautiful couple I'm bringing on, and Jay and Renee Blackmon, and I cannot wait to hear their story and for them to share their story with you and for us to chop it up a little bit about, this topic because it's relevant, it's real, and it's relevant. It's real, raw, and relevant. That's my next t-shirt. That's my next cup. I just want you to know. I'll give you the information at the end of the show. Okay, so that being said, and you guys have to forgive me, I'm a little bit hoarse. I don't know what's happening. It must be the change in the seasons or something. I don't know. But I just feel raspy. So, but I'm going to keep it moving anyway because I keep it real authentic here. Okay, so as I was researching, right, I came across this quote. Check this out. It says, is this me when I reach for you? Or are we the same? And am I reaching for myself? And when I read that, I thought, dang, that's kind of deep. I had to read it like 2 or 3 times. I'm going to read it one more time. Is this me when I reach for you? Or are we the same? Actually, what it really should say is this me when I reach for you? Are we the same? And am I reaching for myself? I wrote it the way they actually put it in there, but that's a better indication of the way that I interpreted it. So I just think that that's a really deep statement when you're talking about being connected to another person, whether that just be you're coupled up or in marriage or you're just your divine soulmate, whatever. When you're coupled with somebody that you feel you're meant to be with, to me that statement just encompasses a lot. You know what I mean? If you think about that and you're going through a difficult time trying to love somebody, you know what I mean, past that hard time, and you think about that statement, it would be like, would I love myself through something difficult? So you would love the other person as you love yourself through something difficult. And that's where I'm going. I'm hoping you guys are picking up on that, but that's what I'm saying. Is this me when I reach for you? Are we the same? And am I reaching for myself? And if you put that in the context of loving me when it's hard to, I think you can kind of see where I'm going. Anyway, this is what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk about all of these things. And I don't think I'm going to delay too much longer because I just want to jump in and get the thing started. You know how we do. So I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And then when I come back on, I will be joined by Jay and Renee. And I will let them introduce themselves, give you a little background about them, tell their story, and then we'll get into this topic. Okay, y'all? So stay with me. All right.
When's the last time someone said thanks for checking over your shoulder before changing lanes? Or gave you a pat on the back for sticking to the speed limit? Or a thumbs up for not tailgating? Probably never. Which is too bad considering safe drivers make the roads safer for everyone. That's why Allstate appreciates safe drivers like no one else. And they show it by saving you 45% or more, along with giving you safe driving bonus checks, deductible rewards, and extra discounts with the DriveWise app. So the next time you come to a complete stop in an intersection, ask yourself, why haven't I switched to Allstate?
The Brandeo Insurance Group, your local DMV Allstate agent, can help you save 45% or more for driving safely. Call him at 410-424-0844 and get a quote today.
It pays to drive safely. Call a local Allstate agent today and find out how you can save 45% or more. Switching to Allstate is worth
a
it.
little bit about yourself. And
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
What are we looking at right now?
Are we on yet? Oh. I think the mics are open. Are the mics open?
Are we looking right
The
here?
light's red.
We're looking at that, right?
Yeah, I think we're on. She did say like 10 seconds.
Are we really on? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're on.
So hey,
Hi.
how y'all doing?
Awesome.
I'm feeling pretty good today.
How about this Friday, man?
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy to see y'all. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
So I want to talk. Well, first of all, okay, because I always forget to allow the guests to talk about who they are and what they do, because I'd be so excited about my topic. I'd be to miss all of that. Be like, anyway, so what happened? Okay, so tell the audience about, Renee and Jay and, what you do.
Please, you first, honey.
You want me to go first? Okay, we sell real estate, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I've been selling real estate for about 23 years, and Jay recently joined me as my partner. So, it was a very smart move because we were living our lives opposite. You know what I mean? Like my busiest days were the weekends, and then he was off on the weekends. So it was a real cool play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he just slid
Didn't
out the
look-
card.
check that out.
Let me just show y'all this for real. Let me tell you something. When Jay first gave me this card, I was like,
No, they serious right now.
no, they didn't come up and hear all this royalty right here. Look at this king and queen right here. That is the bomb. I love that picture, the pose, everything. That is hot. That is really hot.
Thank you.
So what is it like? You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
working together and be married. That's like,
Hey,
how is that?
we had our struggles in the beginning because I was doing military for 30 years. So
Right.
I just retired 2 years ago.
Congratulations,
Thank
2
you.
years later.
Thank you. Right.
Belated.
So that was my expertise, was what I did in the military.
Right.
And her expertise was real estate. But she kept telling me, come on and join real estate with her. And I'm like, well, I got 29 years. I'm not going to waste this and this, that, and other because I don't have the age.
Right.
So I would have to defer early. So I was like, I'm not going to waste all this time dealing with that just because you want me to do real estate. But I was like, blah. She kept telling me, do real estate. Do real estate. Whatever. And I'll come home mad every day from work.
Every day from work, he come home mad.
Does not happen.
Do you
Pissed
not
off.
see that? Like, we don't have time to not live our purpose.
That's absolutely.
Who has time for that?
Nobody has time for
Yeah.
that.
So if
Nobody.
he's gonna be there for so many hours a day,
Hating it.
come home and hate it,
Right.
we're too old for that.
Yeah, listen.
Right.
Did you hear that, y'all?
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
So
Now
I
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
drank the Kool-Aid, and here I am in the happiest day, happiest times of my life.
Oh
I'm
my
telling
God,
you.
that's
Yeah.
gotta be
Fun.
amazing.
Yeah,
fun.
definitely.
Doing what you want to do, and we're gonna get into that a little bit as I was kind of like doing my notes. This is what I do.
Right.
You see all these marks all on my
Sure.
it's all over this page. So as I was writing on my notes out, that's a part of what I was going to talk about. So this thing is right in sync as usual.
Okay.
Spirit does its thing.
Right on.
Right on.
Right on.
So how did you guys meet?
It was funny because I was out and about, and one of my friends that I used to be stationed with in the military, we were stationed back in '91 in Germany, and we kept in contact. Oh, that was my favorite. We kept in contact, but he was like my mentor actually growing up. And, I mean, growing up in the military, and he was like he's moving to Upper Marlboro, and I was like, "Why are you in this area?" But he wanted me to come to a housewarming party, and I was like, I don't feel like it. He's like, come on. And I was like, I'm not going. So I was almost home, and he called me one more time. It's like, Jay, where you at? Come on, bro. I ain't seen you in. Made the U-turn, got to the party.
And then for me, the day of the party was literally the anniversary of my mother's death, and I was not leaving the house. Right? I think it was only the second year, so it was just so fresh. And my girlfriend / client is Aries like me, so she's very, very, very forceful, and she was not having it. She's like, "You are coming to my housewarming. You're our realtor. It's our birthday month. You have to come. You'll get more business." Okay, so he's like, "You'll get more business." I'm like, right. So I went, and he was at that party. Right.
And it was so because I knew both of them from being in the military. Both of them were working in the same office, so all three of us in the military. So it was good to see them, this, that, and other. So the thing was, I wasn't going there looking for anybody. You know, I was, just going there because I really didn't want to be there to begin with.
Right.
You know?
Right. Neither one of you, really.
Right. And it was like, actually, we were on the opposite of the room the whole time, and then we just started playing catchphrases.
It was
one
awesome.
of those, you guess, and, you know, we just started giving each other clues.
Yes.
And we kept getting each other's clues and
It was
getting their
crazy.
answer. And it was like, everyone started to know. It was like, y'all cheating, or how y'all know, like you guys know each other like that. And then, at the time, I was going through a short sale with my home that I was in. And again, she's a realtor. And somehow we started talking. And then she was like, "Well, you need a realtor?" And I was like, "No, I have a realtor." She was like, "Well, here's my card." So then the J Philly came out, and I said, I said, "So what if I don't need a realtor?" And then she said, "Well, just give me a call." And then, boom. We left the place, and I was following her home a little bit just to make sure she was good. So I called her, just tell her, "Hey, be safe. It was nice meeting you." She didn't answer the phone.
Because I had called my sisters in Canada, woke them up to say, "I met this guy." Oh my God. So I'm on the phone to them. He's trying to call to make sure that I'm okay.
Right.
I missed the call.
Right.
So 2 days go by, I'm like,
I
there was a message waiting. It was awesome.
And I'm called looking like, I thought I put the thing down. But, no answer, no return call.
Everybody's second guessing.
You know what
happened?
Yeah, I thought it was going well, so. But then
she
finally called, and then we had an impromptu.
I was having a dinner party that night.
Called up some of my clients about that.
What are y'all doing tonight? You're coming over tonight, okay? Good.
Yeah, we got to do that. This is necessary.
Yeah, it was one of those.
It's kind of weird on a Monday.
Shush, that's okay.
Shush.
It worked out.
It did.
How long have you guys been together now?
It's in 2012.
Yeah.
2012. So we've been married for going on 3 years.
Yeah, November will be 3 years.
But we were
together. That we were married.
Right, but you've been together since 2012. Let me tell y'all something. When God steps in and does his thing and the universe aids him, you might as well throw your flag in.
Totally
it's done.
Totally
it's
agree.
It's done.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that to me, that said divine timing all over it. Just divine all
just
over
the
it.
fact that it was the anniversary of my mom's death. So now that is replaced by like the best day of my life. Right? So it went from the worst day of my life to the best day of my life.
See, that's how it works. That's how it works.
That's what
That's
my
how
mom
it
would
works.
have done.
Just transforms.
Yeah, we definitely
transform that memory, that day for you. It transformed, and that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
That's an awesome story. Dang, I don't even want to say nothing else. Let's go.
It was awesome.
No, but that's an awesome story. So that's kind of what I was going to talk about, right? Like how things seem to fall into place so that you know you're with a person that you are supposed to be with.
Absolutely.
And you can
pay
feel
attention.
it. Yes, you have to pay attention
to that.
Right.
Absolutely.
You do.
Right.
And people fight it.
Yeah.
They do.
Right.
They get, no, I don't feel nothing.
Right.
Where is it?
Who playing? You keep looking at your phone like 600 times.
Oh, we had that issue because I didn't realize, as a realtor, that's so much. But it was a lot of, we knew what we didn't want to do because I was married before and she was married before. So we knew what we weren't settling for anything. Neither one of us was settling.
Well, that's a good thing.
Right. Where it's like, we have our differences, of course, but it's like, well, I love her, but I don't like her kids. Or I have kids, and she's like, oh, I love Jay, but I hate his kids. Well, that couldn't happen because I couldn't settle for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So those are the things that we both agreed upon. Like, all right, this is what we don't. Not like we wrote a list and everything, but we kind of knew as we talked about. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't want that either.
But you guys had time too.
Yeah.
To kind of discuss and get to know each other. You allowed for that time.
Sure.
Yeah.
To really get to know each other and to understand what one another liked or disliked, and if there were any issues to kind of work through those.
Absolutely. And to also understand that at the age that we met, what we see is what we're going to get.
Right.
Yeah.
So can you deal with this?
Yeah.
Because there's only so much changing you're going to really realistically be able to do at this point.
Right. I think as far as the self is concerned.
As far as you are your core person is developed by this age for us. Right. So I think for us it was more, can his everything work with my everything, knowing that I am this imperfect being here and he is that imperfect being here, and we've got to then cohabitate. Is that
yes.
Cohabit.
Yes.
Cohabitate
is a word, though.
Thank you.
It really is.
I just said it.
It really is.
Good.
But when you take two imperfect beings, right?
Yeah.
And we're all imperfect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we meet our imperfect match, we become a perfect.
Right.
Yes.
And then you know what? To throw in that whole big
a perfect unit.
Right, a perfect unit. And you know another thing to throw in that big melting pot we had? She's from Canada. I'm from Philly.
And I'm loving that accent.
Right. And
I'm like
everything America is like she's a foreigner to America.
Right.
Where I'm born and raised in Philly, hard Philly, the hood, and she's from Canada. And then me being in the military, she has no idea what the military life is like in America. So that was another,
this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just let me, I'm not really I am an artist, but not like that. Mm-hmm. So let me just kind of illustrate what you just said. Mm-hmm. You got two very different people, right? Mm-hmm. That are perfect for each other, right? When you have, and I'm not saying that two people that are the same can't work. I'm not saying that. Mm-hmm. But instead of it going like this, it goes like this. Right. Because what happens is one fills in the gaps where the other has nothing.
Indeed.
It's empty there, they fill it.
Indeed.
Right. For each other.
Right.
And it makes the bond, right? When you're like this, the bond is that much stronger.
Exactly.
And then when you add, and because it's divine, let's not forget that. We have not. Right. Now it's just blessed all over the place.
Right.
Definitely.
So.
Right.
But even in blessed unions, sometimes we hit pockets.
Oh yeah.
That are really rough.
Sure.
Tough.
Definitely.
When you really want to be like, you know what? And you really got to take a step back and be like, I got to love him through this, or I got to love her through this, or I got to love me through this.
Sure.
So, did you experience? Now, don't put out nothing you don't want to, but I'm just saying, because what I'm trying to communicate, because what I'm trying to get to the bottom of is that, you hear people talk about these relationships, and there's a lot of people, especially in my office, right? They're young couples. And they talk about these relationships, and we're always talking about love, and forgive, and all these things. And it sounds good on paper.
Sure.
But the real reality is, ain't none of that easy. None of that is really easy. And it takes a certain kind of faith and strength and love to get through those moments.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
And so that's the reason why when I was listening to the Monica song, when she said, can you love me when it's hard to? That's why I wanted to have this discussion with a couple that's already together.
Sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? For couples that are not together, as well as those that are or young in their marriages.
Sure.
Right.
To talk about maybe your experience with loving when it was hard to.
Sure. I guess the biggest thing, and it's not hard per se, first you have to understand you have to understand what you have, right?
Right.
And then you have to realize, is it worth me losing whatever we're arguing about or whatever the dispute is over that?
Right.
Is that something that, that's really going to break us up? But the biggest thing for me to swallow and deal with Mrs. Blackmon is she goes 0 to 100. 0 to 100.
That's Aries.
And that's Aries all day.
Girl, it's all kind of fire.
Yes, and I'm a little. So
we on fire.
What Aries are you? March or April?
April.
April what?
13.
I'm April 1.
Wow, that's my.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know you now. See,
that's what it is.
So that was the biggest thing, and my thing is for me not to go to 0 to 100. I have to learn. So that was one of the things. Like I love her so much.
Yeah.
But I want to smash her sometimes. She goes to 0 to 100, and it's really not even required to go to 100. Right. It maybe go to 23, when she takes it to 100. And so I have to reel back myself instead of being a Leo, because we hate to be, come at that way. So I had to swallow all that, because I know that's how she is. And I accepted that, and all that mixing and everything. I accepted her personality for that. So she's working on it.
I am.
Because it got to the point where now you're starting to bother me. It's starting to bother me now. Because now I don't want to do something, retaliate on you, and then regret whatever happens because we both went to 100.
Right.
So I try to stay idle with this one. You know what I mean? And it hurts.
We can be
it's
ridiculous.
Hard. Yeah,
and my thing is, my 100 inside feels like 50. Outside looks like 150. So I'm just trying to find the, you know what I'm saying?
The healthy balance.
It's the healthy balance because I'm expressive.
And that's very interesting that you would say that. I was reading something and it said there are 3 sides to every story, or actually 6 sides to every story.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you, let me explain.
Let me hear them.
It says there's the seer, the scene, and then the relationship.
Okay.
So what that means is you've got yourself, what you think you're doing, and then what's really happening between the two of you. And that's happening on both sides of the table. So that's what you just said really represents that, at least for me, right?
Right?
Because in your mind, you're like, I wasn't even tripping on that. What are you talking about? I was only, what did I do? What do you mean? 100?
Yeah.
That was baby stuff.
I wasn't even sweating.
You ain't even see me.
This is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and you have got to, that is hilarious.
Right.
You have got to know your partner, and yes. Right. You definitely, that is definitely a time when you got to love your way through it.
Right. And she said, I've gotten to 100 maybe once or twice. And I don't like getting to 100. I never got to 100, but it was in the 90s. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it's like, then she had to reel back, like, okay, now I'm pushing a button. You know?
Yeah.
I know not
and I absolutely understand that because I've been married before to a Leo. Yeah. And I have to tell you that he was, and we were really young, you know. And I have to tell you, he was normally a really calm, outgoing guy. But that one time, I was like,
who's this guy?
Oops.
Wait a minute.
Empty my stuff. Go to my room.
Wow.
Because he never, he never really, and maybe that was his way of trying to balance the scales, and that was just one time that he couldn't. Right. But when you're young, and I didn't have the tools then that I have now. Like I knew stuff, but I just didn't know. I didn't have the experience that I have now. So I didn't really know how to navigate. Right. But now it's different. Especially when you've had a previous relationship and you get into another one. Yeah. You bring the experience, but you leave the baggage.
That's what you try and do.
You really try to do. Yeah.
Always.
Right. So one of the things that happens as we were talking about leaving the baggage is as partners, as soul connections, having a soul connection, what we do for one another, and this is something that some research I was doing. We trigger one another. Sure. Oh, yes. And what I'm going to call, and many people call, your shadow side. That thing you try to keep over here up under the table. Like,
right.
Do not make the monster come out.
Right.
And we keep it tucked away. Sure. I don't know that that's always the best thing to keep it tucked away. Because we don't like to look at it. Sure. Nobody wants to look at what they feel or is their kind of shadow. Right. But when we don't, it sits in it.
He puts it in my face. Oh. He makes sure that he's such a realist, and he has this way of doing it. And I must say, I've come to actually appreciate it a little bit because you can't see yourself.
You cannot
see yourself.
And that's why it's important to have a partner that puts it in your face.
This is what I'm
will
saying.
trigger you.
And it doesn't make me happy sometimes.
It never makes me happy.
Okay. But
it's like having a temper tantrum. Kick your trash cans for real.
Right. He'll be like, no. So, when you did this, you did that. You don't remember? Okay, then let's have a conversation. So he does it in a way where, damn, I gotta respect him. You know, I can't even get mad over this. Like, it's like he just.
And that is what communication is all about.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely imperative, and it is the thing that will keep a relationship solid.
Absolutely.
Is if you communicate.
Pillow talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I you know how my dreams thing, this is just what happens.
Sure.
And this morning when I woke up, it was like this triangle, and I kept saying, why am I thinking about a triangle? Thinking about it, and oh no, I'm sorry, wrong one. Circle. Mm-hmm. And it was one circle, and then the next image was two circles with energy around it.
Okay. And
then the next circle had energy around it with arrows going each way. And I kept looking at it. I'm like, I get it. You can have our energy surrounding your relationship, but if you don't have the exchange in between, you still are not relating.
Right.
At all.
So basically what they just said is what I dreamt about. I'm just saying, y'all think what y'all want to do. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I think the key too, like you said, you alluded to before, was communication. We have relationship checks. Like, we'll say it, relationship check.
Relationship check.
And
that's all eight of our
words.
union.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally like relationship check. You know what I mean? And it could be we watching TV and just turn over like, because the thing that's really cool about us is like we can tell when there's something going on.
Oh yeah.
The tension, or we can tell the language, the response is like, what's wrong? Nothing. Right. Okay, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm only gonna ask you 3 times, right?
You only gonna ask me one more time.
So I'm gonna leave it alone, but I still know. And I said, okay, well, you can hold it all you want. I know something's wrong. Then I'm gonna do my thing. You know what I mean? But it's like, because we got through all of that, because we had hard times in the beginning. Trust me, it was rough because we both adapting to me being on my own, she being on her own, and then we collabed together.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean.
That was rough. Like what she does, I don't do, and what I do, she doesn't do. And
right. You got to find like a balance.
I mean, and then the food was like, and that was so stupid about it. Now when I think back.
Yeah, man, you were crazy.
Like, she telling me, "Oh, don't eat that junk." I'm like, just because you eat healthy, don't make me eat healthy. You know what I mean?
And I'm like, what did you do?
I'm arguing, like yelling.
I grow it.
Yeah.
I grow it.
Wow.
We're not talking
like,
about
how do you even know it
telling
tastes
him
better?
and not doing anything. I'm growing the food for him and putting it in front of him.
Right. And I'm arguing the fact
with love.
And it's just now. It's just now that somebody's telling me to do something.
That's what it is.
I'm not even hearing what she's saying to me. Like, eat better, you'll live better. I don't hear that. Don't be telling me what to do.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the
only reason.
That is the only reason.
But that's what we do. We defend our position. Right. That's what we do.
Because I swear I'm right.
We defend our position, but the truth doesn't need defending.
No.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And it's come full circle, which is so amazing.
Now so what I'm saying, viewers, is that this is the place. So you go through all that foolishness in the beginning, but if you can hang in there and you can work it out and you can compromise, you can get to that place where you can go.
And then you forget about all that other stuff. You forget about all
it was
that
worth
other
it.
stuff.
It's like having a baby.
Right.
It's pain, right? For what I hear.
Right after you have a baby, you like, I'm not ever giving, I'm not even having sex. I don't even want it no more. This is foolishness.
Right.
But then 9 months later, ma'am, you're pregnant.
Right.
So again, it's that same thing.
It is.
Yeah, but and getting back to the triggering really helps us grow.
Yes.
It helps us evolve as a couple,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
We illuminate things in one another so that we can see them. Mm-hmm. We love each other through it.
Yeah. Love each other through it.
And that is the key, I think. I had a quote. What did I say? If not for love, then for what?
For what? Yeah.
You know, for what?
The way I think I look at it in the end game is life is awesome. Life with him is even more so. So I'm going to protect it.
That's right.
You know, that's how I feel about it. Mm-hmm. And the minute it's not that way, then we have to have a conversation, do something different. But for me, this is amazing. Like it's amazing. My life, I live my life amazing, and it's got to stay amazing from here on out.
And I'm feeling the amazing right here. Like I'm just honored to be in the building with the amazing. No, for real, you guys are really. You guys, I sure will. How can I bring some bags?
Yes, definitely. So last year we had about 100 melons, watermelons, and cantaloupes. They just was everywhere. We're giving them away like 6, 7 of them at a time. Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta come see all
you gotta
this
see
because
it's ridiculous.
I am really trying to do better. In fact, my show last Saturday was about health and trying to be healthier,
critical,
eat healthier. It is critical, and when you do it as a couple, man, it's everything. It's everything. Right?
It is. It's sexy too.
Oh, it's real sexy.
It's definitely.
It's real sexy. It really is. And I'm trying to get my sexy all the way back because I'm sexy already, but I get more.
How about it?
Sexier.
Come on.
Yeah. So I'm trying to really get that down, and it's hard when you're dealing with someone. This is a little off topic, y'all, but when you're dealing with someone who doesn't want to eat healthy, at least you was like, all right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you have somebody, and it's not that, I'm not saying that you have to make them do it so that you can do it.
Right.
But you know, when I'm trying to eat, some grilled fish and some broccoli, you got this burger over there with some French fries.
Right.
I like this.
Sugar on top of sugar.
Right.
And that's not fair. But it also, at this age, it also speaks to who you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, if I wasn't with Jay and I was out in the dating field and somebody was going to eat a burger, knowing what I know, I don't think that that's somebody, like, you can eat whatever you want, but I don't think that that's somebody that I could see myself wanting to attach my life to and having to take care of for the rest of it.
And that was part of that. That was a lot when we talk about arguing and whatnot. You know what I mean? About that. That was huge.
I want him to run
and that's important.
Right. It was huge.
That's
we want to travel the world.
Right.
Yeah, that's important. It really is important.
Yeah.
And you know what happens sometimes, and this is, and this is what sometimes breaks relationships up, unfortunately, right? When you get together, you're both in the same place. Yeah, let's get that burger and that pizza and that whatever.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's drink that whole keg of beer. Let's do it.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry. Loving that too.
Okay, honey.
But then you get to a point, right? Where you wake up one day, you're like, I really don't want to do that.
Exactly.
I'm not really feeling that nasty, juicy burger over there. I don't really. I know it tastes good, but my body doesn't want
My body doesn't. I mean, I
now
want
you got
it,
this.
My body says
And
no.
that's exactly how it happened to me. That's exactly how it happened because she
It
started
really
shoving
did.
it down my throat.
It really
like,
did.
now, wait a minute, we was just drinking 1800 and Hennessy last week.
Absolutely.
And now, like, I don't want to drink that. I'm like, well, that's cool, but don't look at me cross-eyed
Oh,
because
that was
I'm
horrible.
drinking that way. You know
It was
what I mean?
horrible.
Because you switched, like you said, overnight. She did this, and I'm still here. And I'm like, wait a minute, when this happened?
You ain't caught up yet.
I ain't caught up. So then it was like,
When did the paint on the walls change?
Right.
So all the defiance and the
was.
yelling and the
It
screaming, and then I
was.
finally started getting it, and then I was like, well, when we gonna eat that? I'm not eating at McDonald's now. You know I'm not going there. You know what I mean? So it's like the metamorphosis happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was forced down.
It
my
really
throat.
was.
And that's what we had to, and you know what she says, whenever she gets to that 0 to 100, I have to do an analogy for her. I said, so what if a religious person, and we all know one religious person that God did everything, and God does everything, you know what I mean? But it's like you drop a pencil, oh, the Lord, make sure you didn't trip over that pencil, so they shove it down your throat, or oh, the Lord, you have one of those, the holy rollers is what we call them.
They're over the top.
Right, so every time, what if someone, every time you said something, the Lord, that's how she was with the food.
Right.
Like, I eat a piece of chicken. Now, that chicken been down. You don't know where that chicken's been. I'm like, look, kid, it's a piece of chicken, you know what I mean? Or if I eat a potato chip, you know what's in those potato chips? So that started to bother me. Now you're bothering me.
It was
because
ridiculous.
you're trying to shove it down
and
my
it was
throat,
fear
right?
on my part. It was as I was doing the research, as I was understanding what's being put in our food and what the overall long-term effects are.
Right.
It was petrifying to me. So for
Food
me,
Inc.
it wasn't about Food Inc. Man, watch
Changed
that
my
on
life.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Woo, Lord.
You might not want to watch it, but if
Yeah.
you want to learn about really what goes on, Food Inc.
Yeah. And Google the real effects
almost
of
scared.
sugar.
Yeah.
But I had to do it in order to leave it alone. I had to scare the shit out of myself, literally, in
definitely.
order to leave it alone. But it was just that and it was because I was going through menopause, getting older, so I was looking for natural solutions.
Right.
But as I'm doing this research, how could I not share it with the most important person in my orbit?
Absolutely. You know? Now let me ask you this. So during that change, right?
Yes.
So you're here, he's here.
Yeah.
Did you have to, because I know this didn't happen all of a sudden.
It was
so
a
did
process.
you just have to, at one point just kind of have to stand down and be like, I'm just going to have to let him come into it on his own?
Absolutely. It was the only way that was
that's the only thing,
happen,
right?
Because duh.
Right.
It's like we know it.
Because otherwise the arguing just keeps going. Because when you're trying to force something down somebody's throat,
I mean, we got some heated arguments.
Over food.
Yeah.
Over food.
Over food.
I mean, heated.
I mean, it sounds hilarious. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it happened.
It totally happened.
And really, at the end of the day, right? Wasn't really about food. It was, but it wasn't.
It was. You're right, because you're forcing me to do something.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Absolutely.
Right.
So when you look at it from that perspective, right? Not so ridiculous.
No.
Because you're like, you're trying to make me do this, and I'm like, but I'm my own person.
Right. I've been living fine.
I can do my own thing. Let me do what I want to do.
Right.
I let you live in your world. Let me live in mine. We're still together.
Exactly.
Right. So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what? I still eat my burgers and this, that, and another. But now I'm more conscious about what I'm eating.
It's grass fed.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of grass. But I'll go, hey, I'm getting twisted. I'll get me a Five Guys burger in a heartbeat. But now, because now I'm doing real estate, now I have more time to go to the gym. I go to the gym every day now. So I can eat a burger and not feel guilty. Like, I'll just run it off or work out now about it. But before that, it was Five Guys 3 times a week because I worked in the office.
Right.
So we go to luncheons, and somebody's birthday, we doing potlucks.
Oh, yeah, we know that. My office know all about that.
Right, so
I had to bring in
all.
some meal replacement bars, healthy ones. I don't really know what's in that.
Right.
Y'all better check that label for me.
Right, Bill.
I think it's all good, though.
Right. But it was hard. It was hard. But then, we just... I learned to, but still, some stuff like she'll eat a piece of grass off the tree. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not there. I'm not there, but I'm more conscious about what I eat.
And I think that that's the key, right? The whole point is you became, because we do things in extremes.
We're so extreme. There's nothing we do.
We go left. We go all the way left.
All the way.
And we really do want you to come with us.
Just so you know.
But just so you know. But I think the important thing is that you were able to find a healthy balance. You went all the way to the left, and you came a little bit to the left.
Sure did.
So it was just like you still were able. You weren't on the opposite ends.
Right,
you were more like this. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
to me, that's important. Mm-hmm. And I think that, like you said, when you're getting healthy, right? And you want the most important person in your world to be healthy, right? And they acknowledge that by becoming more conscious, you can't argue with that.
See,
you cannot argue with that.
Right.
Because we're two independent people,
exactly,
and you still have to respect their independence and their world. But at the same time, when someone makes an effort, to kind of honor. Yeah, that was my stomach.
Was that you? I thought it was me. Okay,
that's
so good.
Okay, anyway, I got distracted, y'all. My bad. I ain't had no grass, no nothing.
Pull one of them. She was hungry. She go pull one of them barks off the tree.
I know, shush.
But when someone shows that they hear you,
right,
and they make an effort to come closer to you,
right,
that actually means the world. It really does.
It does.
Because it means now that what I've said is valid, and you take it seriously,
right,
and you're trying to make changes.
And that was the problem too, because it was I'm trying. I am trying, but she wasn't recognized that I was trying to. I had to, like you said, I had to sit you down. Like, look, I am trying to eat this cauliflower rice. You know what I mean? Jeez, give me a chance. But she wants me to have an entire meal, and I'm like, look, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, but I am trying to get where you want me to be. So bear with me. Yeah. And then she realizes that now. You know what I mean? Because I do try to eat a lot healthier now, but it's like it was a learning curve for both of us to be like, don't shove nothing down my throat, because that's the quickest way for me not to do it.
Yeah, and I think that's not just within. This is a great analogy to use for every other part in a relationship.
Yes.
Sometimes people come in and they're like, well, I know this. you know? And it's not that they think they're better. It's just that they're so solid in that, and they're so firm in whatever their beliefs are in that area. They're like, no, you gotta come over here and stand right here because this is the way it's supposed to be done. And the other person's like, hold on. Wait a minute.
Right.
You know, I may not have got an A+ in the class.
Right.
But you know, I had ideas and stuff on the paper too.
Exactly.
Almost
so people just want to be appreciated and recognized for what they do know, what they are bringing to the table.
Exactly.
And you know, I think when relationships go wrong, it's just because, you know, it's not all cases, obviously.
Right. Sure.
Especially in ones that I think are meant to be together, because you always hear about those stories about people. Or know people who are meant to be, like, I thought they were meant to be together.
Sure.
And then they break up. But a lot of times it's because of this lack of communication or them not wanting to surrender their position.
Right. And really quick, if I can interject real quick on that. And what is one of my biggest arguments with you?
Oh, boy.
Opinion.
Which one?
Her opinion. She makes her opinion be fact. That is not true. Everyone has opinions. So what makes your opinion be fact? Fact is, green means go on a traffic light. You know what I mean? Yellow means slow down, red means stop. That's fact.
Right.
An opinion may like, I can go through that yellow light and not get caught in the red. That's your opinion, but you can't make that fact.
Right.
Every time I go through this yellow light, I'm not gonna get caught in the red. Well, anything today, you know, anything. Don't make your opinion be fact. And what her biggest issue was, her opinion on something was fact. And if it's against that, then it's wrong. It's totally wrong. You're totally wrong because you're not agreeing with my opinion. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to talk about. The two, like, I have my opinion. She doesn't agree with it. Cool. You can agree or disagree, but that's still going to be my opinion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the fact that you guys respect that.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Is that's half the battle won. That's most of the battle won as far as I'm concerned, because, again, everyone comes with their own set of opinions and whatever, and you're bringing it to this relationship, and you gotta, you know, you kind of have to navigate through it. And some of them you throw out. Right. I don't need that one, and you replace it. Right. Some of them you hold firmly to, and you're not moving. Right. And some of them you're like, well, I'll slide a little bit to the right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So that we can work. But that's just what it is. It's a balancing act, and it's not. You know, people try to say it's not easy. Is what I'm trying to say. That's why the topic is, you know, loving when it's hard to. Right. Because these things, although we're making light, we're laughing, and it's in retrospect, right? It's funny. Right. But in the moment, that is serious. Yes. I wish you would touch that burger. Right. I wish you would. Don't if you touch my plate. Right. But that's just what is serious in the moment, you know. And I think, you know, it's just important to just kind of take a step back, even though sometimes it's difficult.
And like you said, too, you have to recognize, like, even if she has an opinion, if she's strong about an opinion, then I know not to mess with it. Like, I'm not going to keep poking the bear because I know she's strong about a certain thing.
And there's a reason for that.
And it's a reason. So I won't keep battling back and forth. Like, okay, I got it. That's your thing. So I'm going to leave that alone. You know, I'm going to let your opinion be fact for that one because you're so strong on your opinion.
Absolutely.
And you get past it because some people go back and forth and now your whole life is arguing about an opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you can wait for three-quarters of the relationship
talking
about opinions.
An opinion.
It don't even matter.
It doesn't matter. So it's like, okay,
where's the love at?
So then I let her have her opinion on certain things, and I have mine on us. But when it's something that butt heads, we'll talk about it. Then we'll agree or disagree to agree. You know what I mean? Or disagree. You know.
But we don't leave it. That's
but we
the
don't
one
leave
thing.
it there.
Don't stay
It's gotta
angry
be
at each other.
And that's you know, my grandmother used to say that a long time ago. Somebody.
All of them. Somebody grown.
Yeah. Don't go to bed mad.
Don't go to bed mad. Yeah. Because you never know what's going to happen the next day.
You never know. You really don't know. Yeah. And I think that this is really important to be able to love your way through it. And when you can't, okay, and I'm speaking for, you know, because we have viewers who can't, and we've all been in relationships where we couldn't, obviously, right?
Sure.
We couldn't love our way through it.
Right.
It was either we grew too far apart, or you know, one grew one direction, the other one grew the other direction, or one started growing and the one just stayed right here.
Absolutely,
whatever the circumstance was, you know. And then we tried to force it, and that doesn't work, When you try to force something that's broken to work, and you've tried. So, I mean, and then that kind of affects us a certain way.
Right.
And
sorry, I was going to say, and when you can't, for me, don't.
Right. And this is what I'm getting to.
Right.
Absolutely. And this is what I'm getting to, right? Because life's too short not to be happy in it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
What would you
It
mean?
goes so quick.
Right.
Look how quick it's going.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like we said in the beginning, don't settle. We weren't settling for anything. You know what I mean?
And I
It's
think
like,
that was cool that y'all could sit down and talk about, okay, well,
Right.
look, this where I'm at right here.
Right.
Sure.
So we look like we off to a good start.
Right.
Let's just walk with this and see how this go.
Right. And just to clarify, it was like, you don't do that, I'm not messing with you. You don't do. I mean, it was
yeah.
You know, I mean, it was certain things that had to be major that I wasn't going to accept, and there was things that had to be major on her list that she wasn't going to accept.
So did they just kind of come up as you were dating, or did you guys just sit down?
As we were dating.
And that's normal because I'm thinking in my mind, right? It's not really a list. You guys
Yeah, right.
And this is the importance of courtship. That's why it's
so
important
Sure.
because these are the things that you find out. Now I ain't talking about courtship and just knocking the boots. All right, I'm gonna call you and whatever.
Yeah.
You got to really talk to the people,
Sure.
right? I ain't got nothing against knocking no boots. I'm just saying,
Sure.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
And
But you
I
got
think
to
we
talk to
probably
the person.
both were on that same vibe in the beginning. Like, let's see, you know, she's cute, I'm cute, whatever. Let's go hang out a little bit. But then it was like we started talking, and then you start feeling that vibe and this and that, and then it just grew from there. You know, and trust me, again, it wasn't hunky dory, and you know, we still have our issues every now and then, but it's nothing that's going to cause this to break. You know what I mean?
And see, that's what I love about y'all's relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you, I knew about your relationship before I knew you.
Right,
Really?
but
That's how much your light together just shines and affects other people.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that.
You really provide a positive example, you know, of what a healthy relationship should look like.
Thank you.
Thank you for
It's
that.
normal to go through these issues,
Absolutely.
but you have to love your way through it.
You do.
Yes.
You do.
And you know, if you love someone, you protect that relationship. You protect that union. You know what I mean? Because you know what it's worth.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know your worth. You know your partner's worth. Your wife's worth. Your husband's worth.
Sure.
You know the union's worth, and you
union's-
protect that.
Right.
And not just against outside stuff,
Right.
but from inside
Inside.
stuff is what I'm talking
Absolutely.
about, right?
You're sure right.
You protect it from your ego,
Right.
and your dramas. You know, we got our self-made dramas, girl. You know, we got some dramas.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
something will happen, it'll be this big in my mind.
Right. I
know.
And I'd be like, girl, you know, because I'm single, but I call my girlfriend, girl, I need you to talk me off the ledge.
Right.
I need you to talk me
yeah.
off the ledge.
Right.
Because I done blew this thing up.
Right.
So it happens. It's just natural. This is what we do.
We do.
Absolutely.
But when
Yeah.
you're aware, this is why when I said about the shadows, right? This is why it's important to really shine light on your shadow self, because you know that you do that. Like, I know I'll make a mountain out of a molehill. So I got to be able to really be like, okay, I need you to get yourself together, Charlotte.
Right.
Charlotte,
Right.
look at the thing. Is that really what it is, or is that what you think it
It
is?
is, yeah.
Right.
And then I got to break the thing down, or when we get mad. Oh, Lord.
Oh, trust me.
We get mad.
Oh, man.
Oh, girl. Everybody the devil.
They make us so mad.
Oh, man.
You know, one
It
thing,
is horrible.
I'll get mad, but I don't stay mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing.
I don't stay mad.
I don't
You
either.
don't.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
don't
the
stay
thing.
mad either.
Because it's like,
No,
what's the
time for
point
that.
at that?
It goes
What's
when
the
it,
point?
Yeah, it's
in the
a storm.
moment, the fire is burning, but when it's
Right,
out,
right.
it's
It's
out.
out.
You done. You're like,
Right.
what? Come on, we'll get some ice cream.
Right.
What?
Right.
Let's go get on the ride.
And neither one has to be able to say you're sorry. You know what I mean? Some people just can't do that. Like, yeah, whatever.
No.
You know, and then
I'm
something
glad you
I
brought that
know
up.
when I do
That would be
something wrong.
devastating.
I know when I do something wrong. At the moment, I don't. You know, but then I'll sit back and think about, like, I didn't have to say that, or I could have did something different. I'm like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. And I'll try not to do it again. This, that, another, whatever. Same vice versa, you know what I mean? And then that makes it a lot easier and better
Oh,
to
my
get over.
gosh.
You know what I mean? Because now, you recognize that you did something that was wrong or whatever, and now you're you know, owning up to it and apologizing.
And it does something more than that. It validates her importance. It
Exactly.
validates his importance.
Absolutely.
Sure.
It validates his worth.
Sure.
Now, I'm not saying you have people, I don't need validation. Okay.
Yes, you do.
All right. I validate
I know
myself.
I
I
do.
need to know that
Yes,
the person
you
I'm
do.
with,
Sure.
Yeah.
right? Now you should be able to know within yourself, but when you know that your husband or your wife or your mate or whatever, the person who's special to you is saying, listen, I honor you, I respect you, and I respect your feelings, and they're valid feelings, and I apologize.
Exactly.
That's just powerful. Me just saying that, I don't even owe nobody no apology. That was powerful,
right? And that's big
because it is a powerful thing, is what I'm trying to express to you. So, it's a small thing. It's small to say, but it's big to feel.
It's huge.
It's big to feel.
It's huge,
and it will bridge gaps.
It will.
I'm telling you.
Definitely.
The greatest thing that you could give your person, that's what I'm calling your person, in a relationship is truth.
Yep.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
Whether they are right for you or not. Whether the line goes, girl, I love you to the moon and back. Or, girl, you the greatest person in the world, but I just can't do this.
Right.
Either way.
Right. Right.
Either way.
Absolutely.
Because what that does is it frees them up to make decisions based on truth. When you don't tell someone the truth, you're robbing them of their ability to make clear decisions. Clear and informed decisions.
You know, one of the things I always say is, let me know which direction the wind is blowing so I can adjust my sails.
That's it.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. Don't leave me. And it's okay. Like, the minute you don't want to do this, the minute this is like that, the minute that is like that, truth. It's not a strong man that lies to you. It's a very weak man that lies to you. It's not a strong woman that lies to you. It's a very weak person.
Yes, I'm
the
glad
real
you said it.
gangster person is the one that tells
the truth.
Exactly.
Stands
in
in their power and says,
absolutely.
I don't know how you gonna take this.
Right.
Exactly, but let me give you your
this
options.
is what it is.
Yes.
Yep.
And I'm willing to accept whatever your response is because I know you have to stand in your truth just like I'm standing in mine.
Absolutely.
But that's the only way to really build a true and profound connection.
Yeah.
Is to pull all the bull crap out of it.
Absolutely. And
That
be
makes
vulnerable.
life
You have
so
to be
much
vulnerable. Once you
Oh,
say
my God.
I do,
Yes.
you have to leave, honey. Okay. Yes, you have to be. I remember it was such a big thing to me that I actually said to him, "Okay, baby, I agree to be vulnerable." Like, it was so big, I had to say it out loud because as a woman that does my own thing, that I was my person before I met him.
Right.
So to then all of a sudden be willfully and willingly like vulnerable.
Yeah. That thing could be.
Yeah.
That thing could be a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah,
but when you do it though,
It's amazing.
And when you're vulnerable with a person who respects your vulnerability and does not take advantage of that, your emotions or your feelings, but respects them and holds you dear. Oh, girl, what? That's like having one of them comfortable pillows at night. You can just relax.
We've definitely been blessed. We've been blessed, and it's a feel good, atmosphere every day. I mean, it's just one of those things, like you said. And I look back at all my past relationships, and I don't want to talk about none of that. But it's just like, where you came from, all the
you gotta remember where you came from. Yeah,
and I feel like God was like, you've been through enough.
Here's I deserve a break. Thank you, Father. I appreciate you.
Right. Not to talk bad about
Thank you for making me go to that party. I appreciate it.
And you never thought the day would come.
Yeah, you never think it. You never think it.
That's when it happens. I remember I sometimes pretended not to think it. And it never happened when I pretended not to think it.
Right. So
that's it. That's when it happens. It'll transform your whole world. Right. Love,
it does.
A true connection will transform your whole world. Listen, I have really enjoyed having you guys on the show.
It's been a pleasure being on.
Yeah, this was.
We probably, like you said, we go hours and hours, right?
We could, and that's why I say, that's why I was like, I gotta keep my intro short, because once you get in the momentum of the topic, right? We talking, and you like, oh dang, they're gonna be giving me a cue in a minute, it's time to go. But listen, you are always welcome back.
Thank you.
We got plenty of more topics to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about.
So it ain't gotta be just about a couple stuff. We talk about regular stuff, like shopping. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, we talk about real estate is a good one too. Definitely.
Real estate is one. Now I don't really know
like first time
much
buyers
about it, because I've owned a home before, but it was years ago. When I moved here,
Sure.
You know, I kind of went through a kind of a transition or transformation, a financial transformation.
Right.
And now that I'm in a good, you know, a much better place, a really
Sure.
blessed place.
Sure.
Awesome.
I didn't buy, and there's probably a lot of people like this, right? I'm temporarily, I'm where I am, but I didn't expect, or I didn't know how long I was going to be there.
Sure.
So I didn't buy.
Right.
But it's getting to that time. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
I've been on the East Coast for how long?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't expect to be here this long.
Right.
Man. So maybe.
And that would be another 45 minutes just for her to go on
Right.
her spiel on why
Yeah.
you
So-
don't want to rent.
So, and I've been renting from all that time. I'm like, dang, I done pay somebody's salary.
We need to talk.
You know what I mean?
We need to talk.
So, when we come back next time, I really do want to. I'm in here sweating, y'all, for real. You have to excuse me. It's just warm. But if we turn it on, it'd be a humming. It's just
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah. That's
No
fine.
worries.
I'm actually
Anyway, yes, I would love to have you guys both back, and let's talk about that.
Sure.
I think at least for our community, right?
Definitely.
We
That's
definitely need
critical
to.
for our community.
Our community needs to be aware.
Yes. Because we're
about
doing
that.
it already, right?
Yeah.
When you're paying a rent, you're already doing it. You're
Yeah.
just doing it for someone else.
Yeah.
So many
and maybe some of the
falsities,
things
yeah.
that they need to know, because a lot of people think that they can't buy
False
it.
Exactly,
fears.
and
There's
that's-
so many.
yeah.
They
Like,
do.
like 45 is fake news. I hate the man, but it was like, but that's, you know, there's falsities out there. Like,
There
yeah,
is,
you know
there
what I
is,
mean?
and people put it out there on purpose, and
Of
it
course,
deceives.
they don't want you to have it. They
It
don't
deceives.
want us to have it, but
Sure.
it's okay.
So
We know how to get it.
That's okay, because
It's
we're
all
gonna have
good.
another show, y'all,
Yes, we
and
are.
we're gonna put
Break
all
it
that
down.
information out and break
Let's
it
do it.
down.
Right
Because,
on.
like I said, there are a lot of people out there feeling like
Sure.
I can't afford a home.
Right.
Yeah.
Pen and paper. Bring
they
pen
really
and paper.
can.
Yeah.
It's just
It
very
really-
simple.
got it.
It's all about what you know.
Yep.
All right.
Information is powerful.
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 Indeed.
All right, y'all. Listen, we got to get out of here. I don't want the people to come in here and kick me out. I had a quote. I normally have a quote, and I had one, and I got so excited with the topic that I really don't know what I did with it. Okay, so anyway, we just gonna go with if not for love, what for?
Right.
How about
There
that?
you go.
There you go.
Right on
If
now.
not for love, what for?
Exactly.
Listen, thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm sure there are many, many people out here who would love to hear this amazing story about this couple and just glean from you know the things we talked about here today. So please do that. When I post the video, you will see all of the Blackmon's information. So if you want to reach out to them, especially now, are you just Maryland? area?
Maryland and DC.
Okay, Maryland, DC area for
Remax.
Remax. Okay, so anything dealing with questions or dealing with buying a home, real
Selling a
estate,
home, yeah.
selling a home, or anything like that, please reach out to them. I will make sure that their information and their website.
Email.
Okay,
We're
email
working
and
on our
their
website.
contact information is in the body of the description of the show. Okay, and also I will have my information there. You can go to my website and you can comment on the show. You can put in suggestions for other shows, things you'd like to see. So you know, just rock with me. You know what I'm saying? just ride with me. Ride with me.
Right
We
on.
always have a good time on this show.
was
I enjoy it.
Always.
I
So
enjoyed
again,
it.
thank you so very much.
Thank you. We're welcome.
Listen, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.